Good morning and welcome to Coffee with Alain. I'm going to talk a little bit about muggers and robbers and the difference between them and an active killer and how you respond, because there is a big difference. That's what we're going to talk a little bit today. Some safety lessons, help people stay safe so they can enjoy more of life out there. I'm drinking from a Montana Flathead Lake cup. You can see Yellow Bay on here on the cup. If you've followed me for a length of time on Facebook, you've seen pictures of Yellow Bay when my wife and daughter and I have been up there on the lake. Beautiful area. Nice little cup with the bear and the eagle and things from Montana. Just to remind me of, I live in a wonderful place. And because we have less people in Montana, we don't have as many muggings and robberies and such as some of the more populated areas. But we do have our problems here too. But, last weekend when I was down in Texas, we're talking active shooter, active threat. And when I'm discussing those topics, I always have to illustrate that there is a difference. And you have to be able to recognize the difference to realize how to respond. A mugger comes up. All they want is your wallet, your money, something you have, your phone, whatever it is. They put a gun in your face and demand those material possessions, and you can give them your money, your phone, the purse, whatever it is, your car keys if they're carjacking. They leave, you're alive and safe. That's a win. An active killer, they're not looking for these things for the other crime. They're looking for a body count. And so you can't just give them your money and go home safe. They want people dead. That's why it's a completely different response. There are situations where we can de-escalate. And that's why I teach de-escalation and communication skills. If violence has already started, people are being hurt or killed, the time to de-escalate and crisis communication skills, that's over. And we need to respond differently to keep ourselves and others alive. So we must be able to recognize the different types of violence and then respond appropriately to keep the most people alive. Or if it's something like a mugging, give them your money, go home safe. We don't need to risk injury or death over physical possessions. They can be replaced. But if it's people, if the person's intention is to rape, hurt, kill, kidnap, those kind of things, we fight with everything we have. Any improvised weapons, actual weapons, we do whatever we can to stop that person. Because now a person's physical body, whether it's a rape, a killing, a kidnapping, those things are non-negotiable. We do whatever we can to prevent it. And we fight with everything we can, any weapons we have, real weapons, improvised weapons, that fighter's mindset that I always emphasize in all of my training. But if it's just stuff, we can let it go. We don't need to be hurt, possibly killed over stuff. So we have to recognize those differences. Good morning, Thad. Appreciate you being here and saying hello. Hope you're having a good morning. Now, how can you recognize those? I mean, obviously, it's being aware, situational awareness. If the person is pulling a trigger and people are being shot at or shot, that's an active threat situation. We escape, we deny access, get behind something bulletproof, barricade, or we take the guy out. We do whichever response is appropriate where our location is, the killer's location, and the area we're in. If the person has a gun and just demanding your wallet, give them the wallet. Now, if you think they may shoot even after you give the wallet, one strategy is here's my wallet and run. There's nothing wrong or bad or cowardly about sprinting away from a person with a firearm and keeping yourself safe. I mean, think about it. Guy has a gun and he says, give me your wallet, or he says, get in the car. You toss the wallet Instead of getting in the car, you sprint. Is he going to shoot? Maybe, maybe not. If he does shoot, is he going to hit you? Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to hit a running target. Is the shot that hits you, if it does, going to kill you? Good chance it won't. Tons of people live through bullet wounds. So sprinting away instead of getting in a car, especially if somebody demands you in a car, we don't go. Because what happens where they take you is going to be way worse. So you sprint away. Okay? The odds of dying, if you sprint away, are much, much, much lower than the odds of dying if you go with them. Okay? If they demand your money and you think they're going to shoot, toss your money, leave. Good chance they're going to take your money, let you go. They demand you in the car, you get a loose and you sprint away. Good chance they're not going to shoot. And if they do, you got better odds than if you get in the car and go with them. If they're already shooting, we sprint away or get behind something that's bulletproof or we can barricade in. Or if you're right there and you feel there's nowhere to run, there's nothing to do, we take them out. Those are our options. Okay? But we need to recognize that. The guy comes in, he's throwing his arms around like this and screaming and yelling. We can de-escalate that. He's venting steam, right? Now he gets in your face and starts pointing. Now that's getting a little closer. These might do something to you. You better be prepared to defend yourself. Ideally, you got something non-lethal like Reflex Protect. You know, if he's not shooting, he's just waving his arms and all of a sudden he comes up and he starts pointing at you. And that's a sign that it might be getting close to becoming physical. That's when, if he doesn't stop, when you set our boundaries, you know, all things I teach in my classes, we spray with the Reflex Protect if it looks like he's about to attack. Now, if we're still talking, we're ready, but maybe we can de-escalate it. So we have to be able to read those signs and learn the appropriate responses. We don't want to go past what's appropriate, but we don't want to do what's appropriate and harm ourselves. And that's why learning some things, doing some role play training, different things to educate ourselves, the different responses to different types of violence. But the mugger, the robber, give them your money, give them what they want, go home safe. That's going to be the safest thing for you to do. If you don't want to make someone like that angry, upset them, refuse them, mouth off to them, escalate it into violence when it didn't have to be. Now, having your things robbed, oh, that sucks. You're going to feel bad about it, but it's better than the alternative. You know, I remember a friend of mine years ago. He lived above a bar. He and his brother went down. They walked around the corner, and they met a guy with a gun. Told him to get on their knees. Now, Rhett was an airborne paratrooper with me, Ranger School, badass. He was with his younger brother. You know, he's out of the military just a short while at this time. And he thought, should I do something or not? But then the guy's buddy came around the corner and he was armed too. Now you had two of them. If he would have done something toward the person with the gun, the other guy would have got the drop on him coming around the corner. Now, when they were on the knees, the guy stuck the gun in Rhett's brother's head and started, where's your car? Where's your car? And he didn't have a car. I don't have one. He's like, you're lying. Rhett pulled out his keys and says, I'm the driver. I got the car. It's over there. The guy took the keys. They took Rhett and his brother, because when the other one came back around, marched him back into the bar at gunpoint, robbed the bar, and then left and took off with Rhett's car. The cops found the car across town. This was in Omaha back then. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was killed. They just lost money. Rhett got his car back. They didn't get their wallets back, the money in the wallets and such, but he got his car back when the police found it discarded across town, which is very common in that kind of situation. But if Rhett would have tried something, because he was a badass, right? Paratrooper, Ranger training, it could have been disastrous when the other guy came around the corner. And Rhett didn't know what his brother would do and so forth. So he did the right thing. Give them the keys, give them the wallet, give them what they want if they'll go away. So that's just a little bit of lesson. A lot more to learn. That's why I'm teaching constantly. That's why I'm working on courses, working on the newsletter. If you're not getting the newsletter, get that. EnjoyLifeSafely.com. Stuff every week. You also get the ebooks immediately with stuff on staying safe, help you and your family. So get those resources at EnjoyLifeSafely.com. Follow, share, help me get this information out to more and more people, and we can all stay safe and enjoy life. You know, I want to say good morning to Dixon. Dixon said, as someone who's been a victim of a mugging, I can confirm what you were saying. Thanks, Dixon. I appreciate that. And yeah, and it sucks. And you feel bad about it afterwards. And then you start thinking, well, could I have done something? But could it have gone really bad? You know, like my buddy Rhett and those two guys. Okay. You know, interesting thing, Rhett told me that story too, way back when, is when the police were interviewing him afterwards, they asked him about the guys. And when Rhett was describing they were fairly muscular, the cop said, what, like prison muscle? And Rhett hadn't thought about it, but when the cop said it, he's sort of like, yeah, these guys had done it before. They've been in and out of prison, most likely. And Rhett said they knew what they were doing. When they took him into the bar, and it wasn't their first time. It probably will be your first time if you ever get mugged or robbed. They're more professional. They know what they're doing. Don't make them mad. Follow along if that's what's going to keep you safe. Thank you for sharing as well, Dixon. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for helping me get the newsletter out to more and more people. Want to help everybody stay safe and enjoy life more. I'll be back with some books tomorrow on Book Saturday. So make it a fantastic Friday, and we'll see you then.